So I keep having this reoccurring dream that I'm lost in spaces that are unfamiliar to me. Like last night, it was this boathouse, and I mean a boathouse that was literally like 5 stories tall. And the one that I had the last time, I was in, I guess I want to call it like a football stadium. And I'm not around anyone who looks familiar to me. Matter of fact, I think everyone is strangers, but I'm trying to find people that are familiar. However, most of the time I end up just wandering around alone. Most of the time I'm just like wandering around alone. I'm exploring. I'm trying to figure my way around what feels like they're mazes. And I asked ChatGPT, like, what does this mean? Because they're happening more and more frequently. And ChatGPT says that I have an abandonment wound and that I am being lost or left behind or forgotten. And that this can often tie to a fear of being emotionally abandoned, especially by people who were supposed to show up for me. That it reflects a deep yearning to be seen, prioritized, and searched for, and the pain of not being seen, prioritized, or searched for. And then it also says that I feel invisible in my waking life, and that the dream may echo moments where I feel like no one has truly noticed when I was struggling. Sorry, that really hit. Like my voice didn't carry, and like my absence wouldn't cause a ripple. And that it might show up when I'm subconsciously asking, if I disappeared emotionally, would anyone come looking for me? And then it also says that it's a hyper-independence trauma response, which I know I have. Sorry, because I've never been able to depend on anyone. In my entire life, I've always had to be the one to like caretake for everyone else, and I've never been taken care of. Even as a child, I was put in a position to have to take care of my mother rather than her taking care of me. So it says sometimes these dreams hit when I've been over-functioning for too long, when I'm constantly holding myself down, showing up for everyone else, but feeling like no one has me in return, which I just mentioned, that's like a recurring theme. So it's my subconscious saying, okay, what if you were really alone? How would that feel? Well, spoiler, the answer is usually awful and familiar. And then when I added in the context clues that I'm not in familiar places and I'm not with people that are familiar, it says that there is an existential disconnection, and that this isn't just my people didn't come find me, it's I don't even know who my people are, that I'm in foreign territory emotionally, spiritually, and maybe even socially, and no one in that space knows me well enough to notice that I'm missing. And that's a lonely kind of grief, because it can feel like being emotionally orphaned. And that it also means that there's a little bit of a loss of identity and belonging, because being lost around strangers points to a fractured sense of identity, and that maybe I've shifted so far from who I was or had to be that I'm now asking, who am I and where do I actually belong? It says I could be going through a phase of shedding old roles, old versions of myself, and right now being like in between, surrounded by versions of people who don't truly see me. And that there's a deep fear of being unfindable. And if I'm in a place no one knows and with people who don't know me, there's no breadcrumb trail back. And that might mirror a real life fear that I'm too far gone, too changed, or too different for people to recognize my truth or to come searching for me emotionally. And that this could be coming from estrangement from family, identity, community, shedding old roles like being the responsible one, the peacekeeper, or the scapegoat. And obviously it comes from trauma, from being around people who should have known you but never really did, or never really cared to. And now that I'm building a new self but without any roadmap, and there's no one handing me directions. This was so incredibly profound because I told you guys that I was reading that book, It Didn't Start With You. And in that book, it asks you to like go over what your core sentence is. Like the constant recurring sentence that you replay over and over. And mine is that, you know, I'm unworthy of being supported or being helped. And why am I not worthy of being taken care of? And that I'm not important enough. And that everybody abandons me. And this went right along with that. And I think I finished that book. But it just really hit home. Because, I mean, it's exactly what I have been living in my real life. But chat says that I need to reframe this and journal prompt with like, where in my life do I feel unrecognizable even to myself? What identities have I outgrown, and what am I afraid will happen if I leave it behind? Who do I secretly wish would come looking for me? And then says that I need to affirm that I am not lost, that I'm just in the wilderness between versions of myself. And maybe no one is coming because I'm the person that I've been waiting for. Let me know what you guys think. I'm sorry that I was like crying. I hate being emotional. It always gives me a headache. But I was thinking about this last night because this is a dream that I've had more than once. And I was like, why does this keep happening? What is my subconscious trying to tell me? And I guess it's trying to tell me that I need to find myself outside of who I've had to pretend to be for all of my life just to survive. Okay, I love you guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.